What's up, guys? Welcome back to Build Cool again. Today, we're back to work on our 1972 AM General or Jeep DJ-5. And in this episode, it's time to drop an engine in here. So, I do not have engine mounts or tranny mounts to do this. The goal in this episode is to just set this thing in here so we can start figuring out what we're going to need to be able to mount it. Whether I'm going to have to make something, or I may be able to find some universal mounts, or maybe some CJ mounts or something. I may be able to make something work, but I just don't know, and I feel like I won't know until I get that engine set in there so I can see what exactly is going on. So, I'm going to go ahead, get you guys all set up. I'll show you guys the engine, and then we'll bust out the cherry picker, and in she goes. But before we get started, let's go ahead and smash that like and subscribe button so we can keep on building cool. Once you guys see this engine, you're definitely going to want to make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss out when this thing's up and running. But with all that being said, let's go ahead, get you guys set up, and let's unveil this motor. guys? So it's about a week later now. Last weekend it was just too hot to be out here. I got this motor into place and I got out of here because it was just too hot. So now we're back out here on the Jeep, and the more I look at it, the more I'm realizing that the engine is kind of over to the right side. So we're gonna have to go through and adjust things over to the left. But in order to do that, we're gonna have to go ahead, climb inside this thing, and we need to cut out the transmission tunnel area. I think our best bet is just go ahead, cut it out, open it up, and we can rebuild that once we figure everything out. Because the transmission is just bigger, it's longer, we're gonna have to cut a hole for the shifter and all of that, so it just makes sense to just go ahead, let's cut it out now. That way we're not fighting it, trying to smash it with a sledgehammer. I like the idea of just rebuilding it once we know where everything's going. So we're gonna climb in there, cut that stuff out, and then we'll get this engine back in the air so we can hopefully slide her over to the left side and get her where she needs to be. And then we'll call it a wrap on this episode. So let's get you guys set up and let's get cutting. Alright guys, so with a little bit of adjusting and a little cutting on the inside, I think we've got the engine in place where she's gonna go. I have plenty of distance between the front axle and the harmonic balancer on there, so when that comes up, should not make contact. The engine, the front of the oil pan is behind the front axle, so technically she would be a mid-engine vehicle now because the engine is behind the front axle, but this may also equate to her wanting to do wheelies, so stay tuned for that once we get her running. Now, I made some adjustments. I'm not 100% sure how I'm going to go about attaching the transmission back there to that cross member, but I do think I will be able to make some DJ-5 motor mounts for a small block Chevy work in this. So I'm gonna have to go ahead, get that stuff all ordered up, and we'll see about getting this thing mounted. So before we get out of here, let's go ahead and smash that like and subscribe button so we can keep on building cool shit. This thing's gonna be done before we know it. I already feel like things are going faster than I expected. So you're gonna want to make sure you're subscribed, because this thing will hopefully be on the road sooner than later. But with all that being said, I'll catch you guys on the next episode. Peace!